Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Abbie from Mindfit Yoga and I'm going to be guiding you through this 15-minute yoga practice. So we're going to start in a seated position, so get yourself set up. Maybe just give yourself a big shoulder roll back and down and then close your eyes. So we'll take a few moments of stillness before we get going, before we get moving. So find your stillness, maybe checking in with how you're feeling today. Whatever's gone on today so far, let that go and just bring yourself into this moment here and now. Checking in with the body, noticing if any areas are standing out for you today. If you are looking after any injuries, then make sure you do look after them through your practice. Be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself through your yoga. So let's switch our focus now to the breath. Starting to introduce a slightly deeper inhale through your nose. Deeper exhale out through your nose. Introducing a deeper, longer, stronger, a little bit louder breath. So making sure you can hear yourself breathing. That sound of breath is your anchor to the present moment. So once we've established a deeper, more mindful breath, let's bring the hands together at heart center. You can keep the eyes closed. We're going to lift the chin as we raise the prayer up. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands back down to heart center. Drop the chin to the chest. Go again. Lift the prayer. Squeeze your inner elbows together. Exhale, bring it back down. I'm going to go one more time. We're going to stay at the top. So inhale, reach up, lift the chin, and then gently blink the eyes open. Take your hands even higher, squeeze your inner elbows together. Then as you exhale, open the arms, float them down towards the ground. Give yourself a little shoulder shake. So if you crossed your legs, we're going to quickly swap that cross over. So your other leg or the shin will be in front. It's going to feel a little bit weird, but we've got to practice second side. So we're going to take a side stretch here. We're going to reach both arms high. And then you're going to float the left hand down. Right arm comes up and over for a side bend. So you can either drop your ear to your shoulder, let the head be really heavy, otherwise look underneath that top arm up towards the ceiling. So really lengthening the top arm and pressing your butt cheeks, your sit bones down towards the ground. Top arm reaches up and over for one more full breath. Bottom hand, push it into the mat, come all the way back up. Then we're going to go straight for second side. So pop the hand down, a little bend through the elbow, reach that top arm up and over. And again, you can either drop the head, let it be really heavy, otherwise look underneath that top arm towards the ceiling. If the knees are starting to lift, tell them to relax and just float back down again. Breathing into side body, top arm again, really extended up and over. End of your next breath, use your bottom hand, push it into the mat, come all the way back up. And just relax the arms. Again, maybe a little shake out of the shoulders. Awesome stuff. We're going to switch ourselves around to hands and knees position to tabletop. So swing your legs around, coming into our hands and knees tabletop position. So we're going to get straight to it in a little baby plank. So keeping that tabletop, we just tuck the toes, squeeze the belly, and hover the knees 2 or 3 inches off the mat. So you can gaze at your knees here just to check they're not dropping too high or lifting too high. So you want to be really active through the arms here, pushing down into the mat. Take a big inhale. We just hold it as we exhale. Waking up the body, inhale. Exhale. We're going for one more, inhale. This time as you exhale, push your hips back to your heels so your shoulders are really far behind the wrists. Notice the thighs are starting to wake up here. Then we lift the hips, press the heels down for downward facing dog. So a little wiggle out here if you want to. You can paddle the heels alternately up and down. Maybe nod the head, shake the head. Whatever little wiggles feel nice for you here. So as you've gone from hands and knees, your down dog might feel too narrow, too short. So you can just sort of wiggle the feet a bit further backwards or the hands a bit further forwards. We're going to take a full body flow just to really warm ourselves up. So when you're ready, we're going to take a full inhale forward to your plank position. Shuffle your feet around if you need to. As you exhale, drop onto your knees. Elbows tuck in really tight towards the ribs as you lower all the way down to the mat. Take your time. Inhale to a cobra, a little baby back bend. So lift the chest. As you exhale, just come straight back down. Tuck the toes, big push onto hands and knees, inhale. Exhale, hips to heels. So we're going to take a full breath here. Big inhale into the ribs. As you exhale, sink your armpits even lower. Press them down. So keep your shoulders where they are. Hover the knees. Feel the thigh burn. Then extend the legs. Down dog. We're going to go through that one more time. Inhale, rolling through, forwards to plank. Exhale, knees. Bend the elbows. Then lower all the way down. Slow, controlled movements. Inhale to lift the chest, gaze high, and then just slowly release back down. Tuck toes, big push, hands and knees, inhale. Exhale, hips to heels. Take a full big breath here, inhale. Exhale, sink the armpits down low. Plug the palms down, hover the knees, find it, hover, then extend the legs, down dog. Find your breath. And then just release the breath. So from here, we're going to pick up the right foot. It's called a split dog. Doesn't matter how high, just send it up. Bend your right knee, tuck it in really tight towards the center of the chest, rock the weight forwards, and then step the foot in between the hands. Just help it forwards if it doesn't quite want to reach all the way. Drop the back knee down, untuck back toes. We're going to send the hips as far forwards as possible so you can really open up through that left thigh and into the left hip flexors. So it might be palms down, it might be on your fingertips, doesn't matter, because we're going to lift the hands anyway. Squeeze your inner thighs, hover the fingertips, leave the hips where they are, reach your arms forwards and high. So any issues with shoulders? Another variation is just to place the hands onto that top of the thigh. Otherwise, let's reach, let's lift. Take a big inhale. Exhale, send the hips even further forwards. If you want to, add an extra, arms a bit further behind you, maybe adding a slight back bend here. Otherwise, we're here just resting the shoulders. Give me all you've got for one more. If your arm's up, right hand on the right thigh, left hand finds the mat. Either options here. Keep the back knee down, or you can tuck the back toes and extend through the back leg. So wherever you are, right hand pushes down onto your right thigh, roll your right shoulder back so your chest will open up to the right side, and then lift your chin over your right shoulder, gaze up. Take a big inhale and a full exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pull the right shoulder even further back. Drop the hips lower, one more. If the back knee is lifted, gently release it down. Bring your gaze down, then right hand on the inside of the right foot. Just going to wiggle right foot out a little bit wider. So similar, we're still working into the hips and the thighs, but also going to work this front hip as well. So first of all, I just want you to squeeze the right knee in tight towards the right upper arm. You may want to walk the hands out a little bit further. If you have any props, this is where it might be nice to bring them in. Maybe you can prop yourself up on the blocks with your elbows. If you're feeling super open today, you may even be able to go all the way down to the mat, to the ground. Otherwise, you may just want to keep the arms extended. So what might be nice here is just to have a little sway of the hips side to side. Maybe you want to come forwards, slightly come out of it, go back into it. You may prefer just to be still in the pose. So whatever's suiting you best. For me, I always like to have a little wiggle, see if you can get some of those sort of creaks, cracks, clunks, sort of get them out the system. And then from here, if you're down on your elbows, just help yourself back onto the hands. Once you're back up, we're going to shuffle the right foot back to the center of the mat. Tuck in the back toes, lifting the back knee. So we're going to bring the back foot in roughly halfway up the mat. So give yourself a little push so we can ground down through the back heel. Pulling the right hip backwards so the hips are level, squaring off to that short top edge of your mat. Front knee is probably going to have a bend in it, but the back leg should be okay to be as straight as possible. Again, if you have props, you can help yourself up with your props here. Otherwise, just stick with the fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forwards. As you exhale, push your right butt cheek backwards. So we're working on extending this front leg. You'll definitely feel it regardless of whether your leg is straight or bent. So find your breath, keep lifted in the chest. Then just keep working the right hip higher and further backwards. One more full breath. So you're going to re-bend through the front knee, transfer all the way onto that front foot. If you have your block, pop it to the top right corner of the mat. Otherwise, fingertips is totally cool. So transfer the weight. You're going to hover the left foot, push down into your fingertips or the block. We're going to float the left fingers high. So we've got to activate through your butt muscles here. So squeeze your butt cheeks together. We're going to try and lift the left foot a little bit high with each breath you take. Don't worry if your right knee is bent. It can be straight. You decide. End of your next breath. We're going to float the hand down, the foot down, come to forward bend. Give your hips a little wiggle, a little shake off. Maybe again, nod the head, shake the head, whatever's feeling nice for you here. And then deep bend through both knees, place the hands down, and then just one big step back, right foot left, downward facing dog. And we're going to do that second side. So pick up the left foot, bend the left knee. We're going to bring the left knee in really tight towards the center of the chest. Step the foot forwards in between the hands. Help it forwards again if you need to, dropping the back knee down. So we're going to send the hips as far forwards as possible. So pushing your right hip forwards. So again, you should be feeling a nice opening through the front right thigh to your right hip flexor. So squeeze your inner thighs together first. Hover fingertips. We're going to reach forwards and high. Try and keep the hips forwards. If they move backwards, it's all right. Just move them back forwards again. Any shoulder issues, hands on that front thigh or maybe hands on the hips if that feels nicer. We're going to inhale. We're going to reach up, lift up. Exhale, hips forwards. Maybe reaching a little bit further back behind you. Keep breathing. Keep letting breath go. Give me all you've got for one more. Wherever you are, left hand on the left thigh, right hand finds the mat, finds the floor. We're going to start to roll the left shoulder back to open the chest, stack the shoulders. Maybe taking the chin up over the left shoulder. Tuck the back toes, and then we're going to extend through the back leg. Find your big breaths. End of that next breath. Fully exhale, drop the back knee down. And then we're going to bring the left hand, the inside of the left foot, heel toe, left foot out a little bit wider. Coming back into a lizard pose. So if you want to bring these blocks back in, drop yourself down to the elbows. You may be able to go straight for the floor, or you may just want to stay with the hands. If you want to have a little wiggle here, go for it. And again, you can come forwards, you can come out of it, get back into it. Just whatever feels nice for you here. And then from here, we're going to shuffle left foot back to the center of the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're going to bring the back foot in about halfway up the mat. So we're going to come back to this forward bending position. So up on your fingertips, or again, if you want to bring the blocks in to give you some extra bit of height, that might feel a little bit nicer for you. Otherwise, we're going to inhale, lengthen your spine, lift the chest. Exhale, push your left hip a little bit further backwards. Inhale. Exhale, try and keep the chest lifted, avoiding rounding the back. Take one more here. So finding that balance in our half moon pose. So bend through the front knee, either use your block or just your fingertips, top left corner of the mat, transferring the weight. We're going to float the right fingers high, really activate through your butt cheeks here. So squeeze your butt cheeks together, lift the right foot high. Slow, steady breath. End of that breath, we're going to float the foot down, the hand down, and just flop down in your forward bend. Give yourself a little wiggle. Deep bend through both knees, hands down, left foot, then right foot, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale and a complete exhale. Gently releasing onto the knees. Coming back to a kneeling position or a seated position on your bum to finish off our practice together. Just going to bring the hands to heart center. Prayer position, relax your shoulders, close the eyes. We're going to take 3 breaths to finish our practice together. Take a full inhale and then let it go. Inhale to expand the ribs. Exhale to relax your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, bow the head to the hands. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. You can lift the head, blink the eyes open. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day ahead, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Thanks. If you enjoyed this session, be sure to check out one of my other sessions on screen now.